So it's now 2024 and I have a commercial fire alarm system in my house, which I installed this system in mid 2023. Now because I've got this commercial system, I need to test it like a commercial system. Therefore, this system is now due for its 2024 annual fire alarm verification. Since I know I'll be asked, I installed this commercial system to offer better protection and give me some customization and features that I just can't get with residential smoke alarms. I actually have a second commercial fire alarm system in this garage. It's a separate building. The buildings are actually tied together, but they don't completely put each other into a full alarm condition. I installed this system in the house in July of 2023. So it's been in place here for 5 months so far with no problems, but we still have to do the 2024 annual test. So let's get into it. For this test, we have to test every device. So we have to walk around, make sure all of our audible visual devices are working, go around and set off all the smoke detectors, heat detectors, the attic detectors. We also have to test our fault isolators to make sure that each SLC branch is isolated properly, as well as we have to test our NAC circuits for open and for ground fault. Going to start off today's video by doing what I think is everyone's favorite, the Audible walk around. So we'll set off a device or some way initiate the system and walk around checking all of our audio visual devices are working correctly. I think a nice way to do that would be using the drill button. All right, let's hold that down for 2 seconds. I just switched to 4K 60 to better show the strobes. That's high volume. Bedroom devices are low volume. If I shut the bedroom door, this is my old bedroom. Bedroom devices are all low volume. Corridor is high volume. All right, let's take a look at the basement. Our door is still open because drill bypasses relays. You can see the strobes are synced perfectly. Our HVAC system's also still running. This is my new bedroom. I can shut the door. the garage, because it's not a sleeping area, we have a regular horn strobe low volume. And I think that's good. That has our audible signals all tested. I actually would like to add another audible signal in this house, well, kind of in this house, because I would like to expand the fire alarm system to the attached shed that is right here. Okay, now we're going to test our igniting devices. So I'm going to do a walk around and I'm going to stack the alarms because walk test isn't really legal in Canada, so I'm not going to do that. But I don't want to hear the alarms every time, so I'm going to bypass our NAC circuit. So we'll go into level 1 programming and I will disable output 1, horn circuit level 1, NAC 1, disable. I'd also like to disable output number 2, which is horn circuit NAC 2 level 2, disable. And I would like to disable a couple modules too. I'd like to disable module, this guy here. This is our HVAC shutdown and garage building tie-in. We will test that later. We just don't need to test it on every alarm. So looking at that, garage building monitor supervisory. That can stay up. That's what puts this system into supervisory. But module 3 HVAC shutdown tie-in, that is module number 3003. Relay HVAC shutdown / garage building tie-in. We will disable that. And then we can see we have NAC 1 disabled, NAC 2 disabled, and HVAC shutdown / garage tie-in. All right, let's start testing all of our igniting devices. I'm going to first zip through the first floor, and then I'll make sure that everything came up with its correct display. Let's activate this basement exit pull station first. That did still send me an email that the fire alarm system's going off because that is on the panels relay, which are not bypassable. Now let's set off the laundry room smoke detector here. I'm using the actual Smoke Check brand stuff over the Solo stuff I used last time because I had such struggles getting the Solo stuff to activate. I'm not really a huge fan of it. I find the Smoke Check works much better. Yeah, see, that was a lot quicker. Okay, so that is our second alarm. Now let's activate the garage heat detector. I'm going to activate this with a heat gun. I believe this is only a fixed temperature. I don't think it has rate of rise, but it's not fixed temperature like conventional where it's permanently activated. All right, there we go. Okay, we'll now do the smoke detector in my bedroom. All right, there we go. We will now do the corridor / living room device at this end. we go. Okay, so now we have a smoke detector in this bedroom here. This thing's almost empty, it's very light. There we go. And now we have a smoke detector in our furnace fire alarm room here. We'll acknowledge our fire alarms. First we had our pull station. And let's scroll through here. We will now activate our smoke detector up here. So there's our furnace room. There's our bedroom 5, hallway living room level 1, hallway laundry room level 1, garage level 1 heat, bedroom number 4 smoke, that was my bedroom, laundry back exit. Yeah, there's everything we should have had. Last thing on this floor of the house here is our HVAC system duct detector. So we'll open up this guy. We should receive a trouble when it's opened. There we go. Which we do have a trouble here, so we can acknowledge it. And we can see what it comes up as. Should be an invalid reply. Trouble, smoke, duct photo, HVAC duct, invalid reply. The invalid reply is a way of monitoring this device for a condition where the cover is removed, because then your duct smoke detector won't operate properly. So it needs to monitor that somehow. So the way it does that is the cover actually completes the circuit to give this device its SLC communication loop. So if it's removed, it loses it. So the way we bypass that is you can push those down, and these need to make contact with each other, which we will do. That should be an initialization trouble. If we can get that to stay in there. There we go, you see it's blinking red for initialization. And there we go. Yep, system initialization. I bet you this thing's almost ready to go here. You know, you're being stubborn here, aren't you? Here we go. Where are you? Smoke detector, HVAC duct. So here's an easy way to show you once it's in alarm, because then you can actually see lights once I pull this off. There you go. You lose your SLC connection to the device. You can see in there your blue and black wire, that's our negative, brown red is our positive. So you can see it through that terminal block, that goes to a black wire, and the red and brown go to a yellow wire. So yellow wires are positive, which you can see comes from here. The black wire goes right onto here, right onto the base. But then the positive goes through this guy here, which is what gets opened up if the detectors, or if the cover is missing. And the blue wire goes to your remote annunciator terminal. We'll put our cover back on here. There you go, that should be reinitializing. Yep, there's our initializing trouble. Now, before continuing upstairs, before it gets too confusing, we can look over all of our events here. We have our duct, our laundry, pull station, HVAC duct detector and valve reply. That should go away. That's disable. And furnace, smoke detector, bedroom 5, hallway living room, hallway laundry room, garage level 1, bedroom 4, smoke duct detector, pull station laundry. Yeah, that should be everything. Now we'll do a system reset. Just got my power back on notification. I'll get another one out. So while this initializes, we're gonna head upstairs and test some of our upstairs devices. Guess I don't need to shut that. Now we will test all of our second floor devices. We'll be able to see from the annunciator if we are still initializing or not. Okay, we are still initializing. I think we're good now. Let's set off this pull station here. Pull station, main entrance / stair. And I got another email, and text message. I do have videos showing how I set that up, by the way. People always ask. I do have some videos on that. Okay, we'll do this smoke detector over the stairs here. This one's always a little bit difficult to reach. Maybe I will just stand on the couch and stand on the railing and try not to fall all the way down. There you go. Now we will do our hallway smoke. There you go. Okay, I'll do primary bedroom smoke detector here. There we go. Now I'll do my old bedroom. There we go. Now I will do the office room. There we go. Now that should have every smoke detector tested. Now we have what is above us, our attic heat detectors, which we have 2 of them. But those are conventional, so I'll have to silence it and reset it and then activate the next one. There we have our main stair, our hallway level 2 smoke, our stairwell / entrance smoke, bedroom number 1 level 2, bedroom number 2 level 2, and bedroom 3 / office level 2. So that is everything on the second floor activated. Okay, now it's time to do the attic, which if you saw my video, I recently just switched those out from the fixed temperature heat detectors to the fixed temperature and rate of rise. So now I can test them. Last testing, I couldn't do it here. Now I'm going to do the non-recommended way of set them off. Don't do this at home, I guess I'm supposed to tell you. I'm just gonna use a lighter because I don't want to have to take a heat gun and extension cord all the way up there. And yeah, I'd like to get one of those Milwaukee cordless 18-volt heat guns. We use them at work. They're awesome. They heat up really quick. They'd be good for other stuff too, like heat shrink and stuff. All kinds of stuff. We get to the attic from the office. Okay, so up here in the attic, we have this one over here and that one down there. These should go pretty easy as it's really cold today. If you can actually probably see my breath. Maybe not a lot. It's not super cold right now. It was down below 0 last night. And it's supposed to get to like -12 here this week, which isn't super cold, but it's not warm. So we have fixed and rate of rise. It is a high temp fixed temp. It activates at 90 Celsius or 194 Fahrenheit. So let's set this off and try not to permanently activate it. There we go. We got it. We just barely burnt it there too. Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't take much on a cold day like this. So because this is conventional, there's 2 detectors off the monitor module. Once the monitor module activates, it won't activate again because as far as it knows, the one detector's gone off. And it's a latching alarm. So we have to reset the system and then we'll set off the other one. So I'll show you in the hallway here, the monitor module will be activated, which it is. I wanted conventional detectors because they're a little bit more reliable in the attic. I don't like having electronics in the really harsh conditions. And it's also pretty cool that even without looking at the annunciator, you can see in the hallway what's happened. I mean, you come out and it's pretty obvious. Red light, attic heat detectors, not really exactly why I installed it this way, but it's kind of a cool bonus. I like it. It's like a remote annunciator almost. There we go. Heat detectors, attic, fixed temp, and rate of rise. So we'll have to reset the system and wait for it to reinitialize, and then we will be able to set off the second one. Just got another email and text message that the system's been reset again. Power's back on, and I think by the time I've headed up there to the attic and get in place, it'll probably be all reset and initialized. Okay, time to set off this one over here. Just don't want to hit the disc in the middle. There we go. See, it's not even warm to the touch. Doesn't take much. And there's another notification. System's in alarm again. Heat detector, attic fixed temperature rise. There we go. And now we need to do a functional test with at least just one device. Make sure the system goes into alarm, drops the fire door, shuts off the HVAC, sends a supervisory to the other system. And then after that, we'll test our isolator modules and make sure the system goes into open and ground fault. So I'll take off all our disables. Disable, output. We'll turn the outputs back on too. We'll do output 1, enable, output 2, enter, enable, enter, and module 003, enter, enable, point disable light turned off. We can back out of all this. And I'll set an alarm off from in here, and I'll open up this guy so that we can see the relay trip. So this relay will go and this one at the same time. Okay, I don't know if you could hear, but the fan shut off in this. Our HVAC system has lost power. This relay is no longer pulled in. This activated right here, garage building tie-in relay HVAC shutdown, which HVAC shutdown is also door control. So our fire door has let go. You can see that will not stick anymore. This door sucks. I'm gonna replace the door because this door doesn't actually latch. I don't know when I'll do that, but there we go. So HVAC shut down. Our level 1, level 2 is pretty well isolated from each other because HVAC won't circulate air, and the door is shut. And that should have our garage fire alarm system in supervisory, which, as you see, house alarm monitor module has activated, so you know that that relay properly tripped. And it put this system into a auto resettable supervisory AR. Okay, that seems good to me. We can reset that. And once reset, this will go back to normal. And this relay will re-energize. Then the furnace will come back on, as well as we can reset our fire door. There you go. Now we need to test our isolator modules. So how do you do that? Well, you short out the SLC. There's a lot of people that think, oh, you can't short out an SLC, it's going to kill the panel. And at least on any panel I've ever worked on, that's not the case. And if that was the case, almost every single install, yeah, actually every install I would have ever done, I would have killed the panel, because that's part of the test. You have to make sure your SLC can short out, and that's the whole point of isolators, is that when you short out your SLC, it doesn't take down the whole loop. So let me quickly explain isolators. Our SLC loop comes out of the panel, and it goes on to the incoming side, the supply side of each of these isolators. Now, it then branches out on each of the isolators. This one branches out to the first floor, this one branches out to the second floor. Now, why? Is how that works is, let's say on our first floor at a smoke detector, for some reason a wire comes off a terminal or water gets in the device, whatever, and it shorts out that device. Well, that's going to take down your whole SLC loop, because you've shorted it out. You can't get communication or power over a shorted wire. So what that does is that will trip that isolator. The isolator will trip and no longer supply SLC or power to that circuit. However, the rest of the system still will operate. Say the second floor that isn't shorted, this SLC won't trip, therefore the second floor devices are still fully functional with communication. So you can install them in Class B systems to isolate branches, as well as Class A to put them between devices, so it'll actually isolate between devices. Say you have 100 devices and you have a short circuit on device 75 and you have an isolator at device 60 and then another one at device 80. Therefore, you will only lose device 61 through 79. And those two isolators will open on a Class A loop, then keeping the survivability of the rest of the loop. Basically, it's to maximize system survivability. In the event that something happens to your SLC loop and it's shorted out, it will keep as much as that system alive and functional as possible, which could be more, could be less, depending how it's set up. This is set up Class B, where the first floor and the second floor are both on their own isolator, isolated from each other. You are required to have separate fire zones isolated, so each zone of a fire compartmentalized building has to be isolated, as well as any other buildings have to be isolated, just like they have to be fed off their own NAC circuit. So let's basically take a look at how that works. Take down this detector here. That will go into an invalid reply. I'll grab this jumper here, and if I short it out, watch our level 1 isolator. Boom, level 1 isolator is tripped. So we now lost communication with every device on our first floor, but our second floor is still working. So if I leave that shorted there just for demonstration, you can see none of our first floor devices are working. Like this pull station here, if I pull it, nothing's gonna happen. It's got no SLC communication. We've shorted out the SLC. Now without isolators, that would be your whole building. But if we look at our second floor, these devices are still working perfectly fine. Detectors are still pulling, modules are still pulling. Our door holder will also reset now. So there you go. There, that went back to normal. We can put our detector back up. And that will start initializing. All right, now let's short out our second floor. In my old bedroom here, second floor, take that device down and let's short out the SLC. Here, you see you got a little spark off it, but that's normal. It doesn't hurt the panel any. Okay, I think that should have that shorted out. Looks like we were, but now it's not because we are initializing now up here. So obviously I did not properly short that out. Okay, I'm pretty sure that shorted out this time. Got some more sparks off it as I wiggled it around and we got nothing. However, our first floor devices are still all working. You can see now our level 2 isolator module is tripped, and that's not just showing up like that on camera. They do kind of pulse. So we'll have all of our invalid replies from everything on the second floor of the house. So that has both of our isolators all tested. Those are all working good as they should. So we can take this shorted out device back down now. And that will reinitialize now. Now we will check our NAC circuits for open and ground fault. We'll do that at the last device on each NAC. I'll start with our basement NAC circuit and check it for open and ground. So we should have a open, and if I stick this guy in here somewhere, that should do it. So we do have a horn circuit NAC 1 level 1 open, and I can already see our ground fault light is lit, which yes it is, we have ground fault. So that is all good. That's what we want to see. We want to make sure that it reads that open as well as comes up with the ground fault properly. So that can come down. This can go back up. And now we'll do this again with our level 2 NAC circuit. This is our last device up here. that should be. Yeah, that should be causing us a ground fault as well. Okay, so we have ground fault. We also have our NAC 2 level 2 open fault. Now, one last thing I want to do is I just want to test the panel's ability to go into battery backup. I'm not going to be doing a 24-hour test or a 30-minute alarm test. I just want to open the breaker and make sure it does go into trouble and switches over to battery power. Oops. Okay, so we'll kill the breaker. And we are now in AC fail, which backlighting will turn off eventually. Just give it a minute. Well, actually, I guess we can check battery levels. Battery is at 27 volts, that's good. Because we are in an AC loss, our modules stop visually pulling. They're still communicating, they just aren't visually pulling to conserve battery power. That's something that Notifier's Onyx series panels do, which is kind of cool. The detectors will still pull. And there you see backlighting turned off. If I hit any key, it will wake it back up, but the backlighting will also turn off to conserve battery power. That's the same deal with our annunciator. The backlighting will turn off. You can see that has stopped pulling as well. You can wake that up too, but maybe you can't. If we pulled the alarm, it will go. So you can see it's not pulling, but if you pull it, that will come on and the annunciator will wake up. So there you can see that light still comes on. And maybe backlighting doesn't turn on here. I guess it doesn't. Thought it would. So I guess not on the annunciator. Interesting. This will stick again once it's reset. The batteries will probably settle at around 25, 24 volts. That guy was just flashing again to show that it came back on, but now it's back to its power outage state. Should be able to see charge current now. They just clipped on 1.59 amps. I believe the highest that these will charge is 2 amps. I think the 3030s with the right power supply will charge up to 5 amps, but for the 320s and 640s at least, I think it's 2 amps max. It's not going to charge very high though, because we didn't drain the batteries that much at all. Anyway. Okay, breaker lock on is back on, so we can't turn the breaker off. Alrighty there guys, that has the fire alarm system. House system is all verified and ready for 2024. This will not have to be done a full verification again until 2025. So guys, that's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave those down in the comment section down below. And if you do enjoy my YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, if you are interested, I do have an Instagram account at Pickle700 for bonus content posted earlier than you'd see it on the YouTube channel, that sort of thing. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching.